Hello my friends, it's your old pal Jordan the Lion. Well, it's been a couple of days since you saw the last video. Actually, you saw it yesterday, but it was a couple of days since we made that video. And we're going to go out and make another video tonight because I'm going to take Jaw for a walk. He's already been out to the park, he's already done all that stuff. And what we're going to do today is they're having a Johnny Ramone tribute out at Hollywood Forever Cemetery. Johnny Ramone from the Ramones. There's supposed to be some live performances. They have the cemetery open all night. They're going to show the movie The Warriors. I've never actually been to one of these memorials, so I'm kind of curious as to what it's going to be like. Daze with Jordan the Lion begins now. Now I do know they're having a musical performance of some sort before the movie starts, and I saw Steve Jones from the Sex Pistols will be in that group. And on our way in, I want to go stop by Dee Dee Ramone's grave. They have a grave for Johnny Ramone, though he's not buried in there. Right over here in the entryway, they have a really nice banner to Johnny. It should be a nice event. They've been having these every year since Johnny passed away, and I've never been to one, so this should be quite something to see. There we go. I have prepaid for my ticket, so we just have to scan our code to get in. Kind of a madhouse getting in here, though, if you have a car. Since my friend Stefan played with Dee Dee Ramone, I have a few stories we can talk about while we're here paying our respects tonight. Like at Dee Dee's funeral, what Stefan saw Johnny doing. And of course, not too long after that, Johnny would pass away of cancer. Everybody else is going in this way, but I'm gonna cut through the cemetery because I wanna go over by Dee Dee's first. And I don't want to forget to mention this, if you're in the Los Angeles area and you're a big Johnny Ramone fan, in addition to what they were doing tonight, you can always go to the Grammy Museum, at least for the next month or so. They have a baseball exhibit there, and they have Johnny Ramone's baseball collection. He used to be a big fan of baseball when he was a kid, and he used to write players and ask them questions, then ask them to respond on the card there. So they have a ton of autographs, a ton of his correspondence in there. It's pretty cool. And actually in the next couple of days I'm going to be doing something referencing the Ramones as well in another vlog. Now what I was saying when we were walking in was that they have a beautiful cenotaph for Johnny Ramone here. I mean, it's a beautiful statue, but he's not buried here. I believe what I have heard is that his wife Linda, who is also partially responsible for this tonight, if not totally, she has his ashes above her fireplace still. Or at least on Scott Michael's podcast, he mentions there's actually a photo taken of her recently where in the background you can see the urn there. So I think that most people think that they'll probably be entombed together after Linda passes. They really try and make it a celebration out here, so I hear Elvis's little sister playing. I kind of took the road less traveled into the cemetery today compared to where everybody else came in. So check this out over here, Dee Dee's grave. When my friend Stefan and I came out here, Stefan was the bass player in Dee Dee's last band. He was saying that when they came to Dee Dee's funeral, Johnny was standing out here next to Stefan. They said he kept like staring off into the water. He said none of us knew that he had cancer, but he must have known. Because he said, I'll never forget, he just kept staring out into the water. And then they ended up putting his statue right over there. So here's Dee Dee. I don't think Johnny and Joey were getting along at the end. Right across the water over there, there's another famous cenotaph. Let's go take a look at that before we head over to see Johnny. Right here where the flowers are. This one for Jane Mansfield. Now one thing that's kind of weird about tonight, I came here for a Dia de los Muertos years ago and I never came back because I thought they really commercialized the whole thing, even beyond charging people to come into the cemetery, which they do. I just remember thinking like it was a lot of booths for crafts, and even then in front of Johnny's statuesque grave they were selling t-shirts, and I know they're going to be doing that tonight. I just thought that was kind of strange for holding an event here. Maybe that's just me. That may be new. I've never noticed that one before. That tree grave. This is definitely a Stars cemetery. Right in front of us in this big mausoleum right there is Marion Davies. Don't let the Dovras name up there fool ya. That was her real last name. She's in here. And then this is Tyrone Power right here. And then Valentino's buried inside of there. And then this statue coming up upon us right up here is the young actor who passed away that was in Star Trek, Anton Yelchin. Usually his family members, his mom and dad, are out here. That was a sad one. I think he was parking his car one night and the car rolled backwards and pinned him into his garage door. And then over here where the big black box is where Johnny is. This is Chris Cornell over here where the flowers are. I've never seen those flowers here in all the times I've come, so that's a new addition. They're gonna show the movie over in here, and this is where Douglas Fairbanks Sr. and Jr. are buried, right over in this. And they show the movie behind there. Here we go. There's Johnny's. Beautiful grave. Take a look at that. Like I said, he's not buried beneath it, but it's a fantastic tribute. Just weird because all the way around it, it has quotes by his friends. I just thought that was kind of strange, like Eddie Vedder and Rob Zombie and people like that have quotes going all the way around it. It is one of the coolest gravestones you could ever have, though, isn't that? Wow. Yeah, I just thought that was kind of strange that they did that. Linda and Lisa Marie Presley. One of Us. Yeah, see, they are selling shirts over here at this tent. Right over across from Mickey Rooney. See? There's Mickey Rooney. And directly across from Toto. I kid you not. Over here, this is where Valentino is entombed. Look at this wall art, though. You can see Dee Dee's name on there. That's kind of cool. It's like the inside of CBGB's. Oh, cool. Right in here when you first walk in where all the great apostle statues are. They have an art gallery tonight of rock and roll. It is kind of a cool event for Memorial, I do have to say. That is awesome. Certainly are a lot of people out here, and it's still, I think, a good hour before everything starts. Let's go check out some of the Johnny Ramone shirts they have for sale tonight. Kind of easy to find because the entire tent has Johnny on the side over here. An amoeba booth. There's the Johnny Ramone Army. Jenga. So here you can see everybody's kind of laid out on the lawn, and they're gonna project the movie, The Warriors, over there on that wall. And they basically say, you know, bring smaller size chairs, you can bring food, all that stuff, just make it so that other people can see. But you always see people bring like tables and whole wine cellars and everything out here. I do think it's a pretty cool event that they do this every year to remember him. I mean, if you're a fan of his and everything, it's got to be cool to come out and still be able to celebrate the Ramones. Let's see what's going on over here. I see some more tents and various things. Check this out. This little stage over here, they have cardboard cutouts of the Ramones. I love that. What a nice touch. Right here. We're gonna walk down the middle. We're very daring. They actually have VIP seats up front with like big padded cushions. I didn't even know about that when I was buying my ticket. I might have gotten that if I would have known. You can see those. Nice. We got all kinds of guys hanging out over here. Check that out. And there's the Fairbanks grave. See the lipstick prints on this one? Here's the t-shirt line. Let's see what they got. Pretty reasonable, 10 bucks. Isn't that great? I love that. Check that out. Kind of excited to see who's in the band tonight. I was looking, and in past years, I think it might have even been last year, they had Billy Joe from Green Day and Duff from Guns N' Roses were in the band, so who knows who it'll be tonight. Great jacket. Henry Rollins, John Frusciante from the Red Hot Chili Peppers. That's Exene Cervenka from X. And the white-haired guy over there is Mike DeBar. That right there, the guy with the David Bowie shirt is Shepard Fairey.
Welcome to the Johnny Ramone tribute. There's Johnny, 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 and Johnny. And guess what? Johnny Ramone would have loved this. He loved movies. He loved the Warriors. Yeah. He loved playing vinyl by my good friend Howie Pyro. We play vinyl every day with Mr. J.D. King. And we do this for everybody just to have a great time. Remember Johnny. And also for prostate cancer and cancer research. And here is the famous Dr. David Agus. Woo!
We watched Pearl Jam play a benefit for our research program. And Chris Cornell and John Frusciante played there.
Yes. And John Frusciante's here, and Chris Cornell's by Johnny.
And so they're both here tonight, which is beautiful. And you know, I watched that night Johnny Ramone handing the torch to them, the next generation of punk rock. You know, with Pearl Jam and obviously with Chris and with Frusciante, and it was beautiful. And I see tonight Linda passing the torch to all of you to keep the Ramones flame going. And we truly appreciate it.
We are going to now have an amazing performance. Don't forget to go visit Mr. Music Head's gallery. We have Amoeba here and Lethal Amounts. We have so much stuff going on. And don't forget to visit Johnny Ramone's statue, Chris Cornell, our dear friend, and Dee Dee Ramone. Don't forget, Dee Dee Ramone is here also.
All that hair. Fred. Oh, Fred on. Fred on.
We're gonna do a song from the soundtrack to The Warriors. This is called, you ready?
He said in the contract that I had to be smaller than him.
That's right.
Is this good?
Set.
Okay.
This is called In the City. 1, 2, 3, 4.
Somewhere out on the horizon, out beyond the neon lights, I know there must be something better, but there's nothing else inside. It's survival in the city. When you're down, that's where you'll stay. In the city.
There is
another verse.
There was another verse, right?
Yeah.
You was the one who fucking was telling me about it earlier. And you forgot.
We skipped it.
Short and the nights so long. Well, I walk and they walk, and I twist and they twist, and I shimmy and they shimmy, and I fly and they fly. Well, I'm out there having fun in the warm California sun. Well, I walk and they walk, and I twist and they twist. But I walk and they walk, and I twist and they twist.
It's an amazing
Shepherd Ferry.
artwork. And how was Starcrawler, Jonesy, and Fred Armisen? Woohoo!
It's pretty great. Pretty great.
So, after this, we're going to have, guess who? Alan Arkish, director of Rock and Roll High School. And Alan will come up.
He will?
Yes, he will. And he's going to introduce Walter Hill. And the Warriors are coming out.
How'd you guys enjoy the Joe Walsh? You never thought you'd hear that at a Ramones tribute, right?
No, I never did either. But they did an amazing job. And you know what? Johnny Ramone would have liked that. Here he comes, Alan Arkish.
Hey, wait a minute. Let's give a little love to Linda, all right?
Thank you, Alan.
Now, Linda and I have known each other since 1978.
That's true.
And nobody can hear this, but I've always wanted to ask you something.
Uh-oh.
Okay, you used to have a pink leather motorcycle jacket.
Yes, I did.
So hot, so fine in that jacket.
And I also gave the pinhead dress to the pinhead at Rock and Roll High School. It was a Fiorucci dress that I had and never got it back, Alan Arkish. I don't know where that Fiorucci dress is, but it's on the pinhead. It was the first pinhead dress ever in Rock and Roll High School. And Monty A. Melnick was also there. And here we go now. It's time for the Warriors.
Okay.
And we'd all like to thank Vincent Gallo. Woo! He's going to play some of his beautiful movies right before the Warriors.
Let's go! Hey, ho! Let's go! Now, you know why John loved the Warriors so much? Because he thought the Ramones were a gang, like the Warriors, right? They wore colors. Think about it, right? 40 years ago, 5 blocks north of here, is when the Warriors came out. It played on Hollywood Boulevard. And Hollywood Boulevard was not fucking Disneyland like it is now. It was badass. You had movie theaters back to back and grindhouses. Starting west, you had Mann's Chinese, or those called Grauman's Chinese, which, anyone ever go there? Okay, that's where I saw Star Wars the first morning. And as you went east, you had the Vogue, you had the Hollywood, which is where the Warriors played. All these places that were on Friday nights were packed. And then you got all the way down at the end to the World Theater, which was in the middle of an empty parking lot, which is where movies went to die. $1.50 at the World, okay? That's where I saw Texas Chainsaw Massacre. And that's where Rock and Roll High School played. So, it's Friday night, right? You go into one of these theaters for an action movie and it's packed. Here's the 4 best audiences I ever saw, and I want you guys to be up to this level. Here's the 4 movies that drove them crazy, okay? Number 1, Scarface. Number 2, Taxi Driver. Number 3, The Shining. And tonight's featuring, I want you to top that audience, The Warriors, okay? So why is The Warriors so good? Because the director, Walter Hill, is one of the best writer-directors in the world, okay? Some of you have seen these. Streets of Fire, Hard Times, Geronimo, Wild Bill, Deadwood. He made a movie called The Long Riders, where it's full of brothers playing brothers, real brothers playing brothers. The only mistake he made is he missed 4 brothers. You know, the Ramones would have been great in that on horseback. Eddie Murphy sang Roxanne in 48 Hours. That's Walter as well. That's his sort of anti-buddy movie masterpiece. So let's bring up Walter Hill.
I'm not used to speaking to thousands. A crowd like this, I can tell you, it makes an old man happy. 40 years after the movie has come out, I'm surprised. I want to thank Linda. I want to thank the foundation. I want to thank Hollywood Forever. We made the movie in the summer of 1978. Came out in February '79. We made it for a nickel and a dime. We tried to supply a little imagination when we didn't have physical resources. But I had the greatest resources. I had the entire city of New York at our command. Great city. They were very cooperative. And I had a wonderful cast that was endlessly forgiving of their director and his demands, and trusting. And I am endlessly thankful to both the city and my cast on that show. The other thing I'd just like to say, 40 years later, you'd like to think maybe there's a reason. Like the Ramones, it's not just the chord of memory that I think is being touched. We have to say that maybe something has contemporary relevance. The Ramones were a great group. They did things their own way, and I think it's a great honor for the Warriors to be associated with them. Always loved them. Thank you very much. Thank you.
Okay, so it's kind of like the Ramones. The movie is like a comic book, but it's real at the same time. Was that the intentional side?
Yeah, look, the movie's kind of hard to describe. It's dystopian. It's slightly sci-fi. It's comic book rock and roll in its style. It's based on a military incident in Greek history 2,500 years ago, and it's meant to be kind of funny.
Now,
so,
it must have been a tough shoot. How many nights did you shoot?
I can't remember.
I heard it was 80 nights.
How
many of you could stay up for 80 nights working 14 hours a night? You know?
Well, if it was 80, I can't remember, but if it was 80 nights, we managed not to spend any money.
Well, the rumor is that in the big crowd scene, you know, the big meeting of all the gangs.
That was our one exception, yeah.
You had real gang members mixed in there.
We did. We did. And for some reason they got along pretty good. I think they liked the message that was the revolutionary message that was being expounded by Cyrus. So
now Walter is a great storyteller. He's a great visual stylist, and his movies have an incredible rhythm. Did you ever play?
He is not a great public speaker.
No, but did you ever play the drums? Did you ever play an instrument?
No, my father did.
Because your movies are very musical.
My father was very musical, and I wanted to be. So.
Okay. Well, the character that Johnny Ramone most identified with was Swan. Swan was a tough leader.
Well, that's Michael Beck.
Let's bring up Swan.
The reason that I cast him, he looked exactly like me.
And still do.
And time has been kinder to him. No, he was very gifted and very special, and I was, I have to say, I enjoyed every night when we went out and fought him. Same here.
Now, Michael, Walter, to get that picture done, must have been on fire, you know, leading all you guys.
You know, what I loved about Walter's direction, it was always, he had a toothpick in his mouth, and if he took it out, you knew we were in trouble, and if he kept it in, you knew you did it right. So you were okay. You're going to have a retake if the toothpick came out.
Now, we got one of the rogues here tonight. Yeah! Now, this is one of these guys that when you're watching TV, and you see his face, you go, oh, him, he's always good, I like him. Come on up, Joel.
Sorry. How you doing, everybody? No fighting. This is a love fest. Enjoy yourself. 40 years of this movie, the greatest cult film of all time. I don't know what else to say. I just don't want the ribs coming down on my neck.
We're going to watch this movie tonight. Not my lines, but these are the 3 words. Can you dig it?
Now they're going to show a few Vincent Gallo short films, then they're going to show The Warriors. Well, my friends, we're going to call it a night. Thank you for watching. We will see you all tomorrow. Have a great night. And thank you, Michael Scott, Chris Barone, and David Shane for becoming my newest Patreons. We'll see you all tomorrow. Goodbye.